Okay, so this is officially the recap for weeks 11 and 12 of The Artist's Way. I'm officially done. I've been done for probably a little over a week now. But I've been in the thick of getting ready for my birthday trip, and I just moved. As you can see, I'm in a new space. So the past few weeks have been a lot. And last weekend, I went to this wellness convention, had a great time, but I'm just working with a lot of moving pieces right now, so we're a little delayed, but I wanted to get this video together before my birthday because I feel like I'm entering a new chapter and I want to close out all loose ends before I do that. So, just to touch base on week 11 and 12 for just my overall experience with The Artist's Way. So, we'll do a more in-depth check-in for week 11, and then for week 12 I just want to touch on just my overall experience with The Artist's Way and my key takeaways and what really stuck with me. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so for week 11, initially this is when I was moving, so I did not hit all 7 days for my morning pages. I did show up on the page 4 days out of the week, which isn't amazing. It's almost like 50%, but well, it's a little over 50% technically. But I wasn't super satisfied with that just because I had been hitting like 6 and 7 day weeks. So to hit a 4 day week kind of made me look down on myself. But also, I feel like that was me having to combat the perfectionism within myself and not allowing myself to fall into a shame spiral because I didn't do my morning pages perfectly. Because it is a creative recovery process, and it's something that I'm doing for myself. And if I wasn't able to get to it, I probably had other things going on, which I did, and I have to give myself grace for that. So we're gonna give ourselves grace and move forward. Week 12 was a lot better when it came to morning pages, but that's okay. Well, that's actually great. But I didn't like how my relationship with the morning pages was changing during week 11 because I did start to notice how I was moving throughout my days a lot more cluttered and kind of bogged down from all the thoughts just floating around in my mind. And there were a lot of things that were minor, that were annoying me, that wouldn't have annoyed me if I had the mental clarity that I generally gain when I'm doing my morning pages. So if I would have taken the time to do that, then I probably wouldn't have been as annoyed by just minor inconveniences. But that's okay because this is a learning process, and I'm just glad that I was able to see that, or even, yeah, I guess see that reflection. Would it be a reflection? Okay, whatever. Just being able to take that away and see how that was impacting me throughout my day to day basis and how I was missing my morning pages, which also was able to help me reaffirm that I need to carry on the morning pages after The Artist's Way. So that's become a part of my daily routine in the mornings or evenings, really just wherever it happens to fall, as long as I get that time throughout my day to have like a brain dump and clear my mind. So my artist date, I can't remember if it was week 10 or 11, but it was talking about doing like mini artist dates and spending time, whether it's something simple like going outside or playing a playlist or putting together a playlist or just minor things that you can do to have mini artist dates so that your artist date doesn't have to feel like such a heavy lift or something super extravagant or elaborate. It could just be something simple that you enjoy doing that really allows you to feed your inner child and to feed your inner artist. So for me, that's been doing things like listening to music, hopping on the Switch, reading. Little things like that have been carrying me through and allowing me to refill my creative well. I haven't been doing it as consistently as I would like, just because I've been very busy these past few weeks. But it is what it is. We're working through it. We're on the other side of it now, for the most part. So all we can do is be better and keep growing. But yes, that was how I'm working with my artist dates right now. I really do want to continue incorporating these mini artist dates into my regular routine. I still want to continue doing my actual artist dates, but the mini artist dates have been very fulfilling as well. And then synchronicity. So I honestly was getting a lot of synchronicity when it came to this solo trip and just doing something that kind of seems big alone, like going out of, well, technically it's not out of the country, it's a territory. Because I'm going to Puerto Rico, so I don't know if I said that. But yes, I'm going to Puerto Rico. Not another country, it's a U.S. territory. I don't know if it's technically a country. Whatever. But just watching YouTube videos, or like my algorithm has been accumulating YouTube videos related to solo travel and just Puerto Rico in general. So that has been helping me feel a lot more affirmed and confident in my overall planning of this solo trip. So shout out to the algorithm. Shout out to YouTube. And then I also experienced synchronicity. I guess technically this would be week 12, but just with building community. I know I touched on this a few weeks ago, but when it comes to building community, it's something I've been wanting to be more intentional about. And just being able to be around people like from the wellness convention who were from various different creative industries and various different backgrounds, who were all black or people of color, and all wanting to just get more in touch with that sense of wellness, whether it was through meditation, yoga, Pilates. There was like a sound bath. It was a great experience just having all these different avenues to get in touch with your inner self and get in touch with what your soul or yourself you need in order to continue flowing in this life. So I just enjoyed that experience, just being able to connect with like-minded people, and I had a great time overall. So those are like the two areas I've experienced synchronicity in these past few weeks. And then I haven't had any issues. Like I said a few weeks ago, I never really have any issues with my weeks. There might be something that pops up, but for the most part, they're all just minor inconveniences on my road to greatness and on my road to becoming who the ultimate version of Pat is, which is a continuous journey. So that is pretty much it for week 11. So moving on to week 12, like I said, this is going to be more of just a general overview of my key takeaways and things that have really just stuck with me from the Artist Way. So firstly, oh, excuse me, as I've said a lot, morning pages have become my favorite thing, and I really do notice a difference when I do my morning pages to when I don't. So that's something I'm definitely carrying with me beyond the Artist Way. And then also just the artist dates. Like I said, I want to do more of the mini artist dates, but just having that space and time to do something that's feeding your inner child or feeding like your inner sense of adventure or wonder, or just wanting to experience and try new things alone. And I feel like that's like major key is just doing these things alone, because you don't always have to do things with other people, because that does cause us to build like a codependency or just an unhealthy attachment with other people in order to not feel like we're enough or confident enough to do things on our own, which you're more than enough. And that's, I feel like just doing these artist dates helps you remind yourself of that. So that has been something for me as well. That's actually what inspired me to go on this trip to Puerto Rico for my birthday, was doing my artist dates. I remember one week there was this, one of the assignments was planning a longer artist date. I can't remember if it was like for a full day or what, but I was planning it out. Originally it was for like Savannah, but as I was going more into it, I was like, this could really be a few days and I could just go somewhere that's not super far, but still new for me to experience. And I was like, why not Puerto Rico? Technically it's still a part of the US, and I feel like that would be a vibe. So we're going to see. I leave on my birthday, so that's going to be on Thursday. I'm very excited about that and just seeing what Puerto Rico has to offer. So shout out to that and new experiences, but also some of the other things that really stuck to me from the artist way was what was it the image file with just like the different images that we want to attract into our life and things that are in alignment with who we feel like we're called to become and what we want to manifest in our lives. So just seeing those things and just seeing the things that inspire me and just really get my creative juices flowing and cause me want to work harder in life has been, it was very inspirational. And it's, I actually still go back to my artist file now, my image file now, artist file, image file, I guess it doesn't matter. Anyways, that's something that's gonna stick with me. And also the time chart where we were like just writing out where we're allocating our time was also something that really helped me to shift how I was working throughout my day-to-day routine. I ended up putting together like a more concrete and hour by hour routine instead of just kind of winging it. So that assignment, honestly, a lot of these assignments throughout the artist way have been very beneficial. And like I said, I'm going to revisit a lot of them. Also, the one assignment where it was like putting the circle and putting the things that you want to protect in the circle and the things that you need to block out, the distractions, things that don't need to be within your sphere of influence at the moment. It doesn't have to be forever, but just knowing what things need to be blocked out for the moment in order for you to be productive, in order for you to get things done that you need to get done, in order for you to stay aligned with your goals. I feel like that's very important, and it's good to revisit that kind of task with various things that we work on, whether it's like a major project, whether it's work related, whether it's just a goal that we have in mind for ourselves. I feel like that's really important to just lock in on and remember these things that are floating around. This isn't even something that really deserves my attention. My one friend who might always spew negativity to me, maybe I need to block you out while I'm working on this one project because I don't need your negativity in this moment. So just keeping things like that at the forefront of our minds and just always being aware of how things are influencing us and how things are shifting and affecting the way we think and maneuver in the world. But overall, like I said, I love The Artist's Way. I'll probably revisit this book, maybe not like in a year or so, but maybe like in a few years, just so I can stay centered on this if I start to feel like I'm losing the benefits that I've gained from The Artist's Way. But I'll definitely be revisiting a lot of the assignments as time goes on, as life continues to life. So that is pretty much it. The next time I tune in, I'll probably be in Puerto Rico. So looking forward to that. I have a little over a day before I leave. So I'm looking forward to that. I leave at like 10 a.m. on Thursday, something like that. I don't know what time. I need to double check actually. But I'm leaving Thursday morning. So by the time that afternoon, I'll be in Puerto Rico for my birthday. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's it for me for the moment. I'm gonna get out of here. We're done with The Artist's Way. Shout out to Julia Cameron and all the wisdom she was able to pour into me via audiobook and ebook. I appreciate you, girl. You came through. But that's it until our next creative journey or whatever that might